Hi, today I'm going to be making fried fish. I'm going to do a nice fish fry today. So first things first, let me explain what I'm going to do. I'm going to take fish and I'm going to put it in a beer batter. It's going to be really, really delicious. We're going to be using 8 heaping tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, less than a can of beer, about 8 ounces of beer, and salt and pepper and seasoning. That's basically it. This is a very simple recipe. First things first, let's take some flour, and we're using a big soup spoon. Now it doesn't have to be 8 exact tablespoons, but what we want is a pancake-like consistency. That's 1 heaping. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we've got ourselves about 8 tablespoons of flour there. We're going to give it a little whisk to aerate it. Since we're not sifting the flour, if we mix it like this with a whisk, it'll get the air that it needs. Okay, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, in this case corn oil. 1, 2, and finally most of a beer. We've got ourselves a nice lager here, Alhambra. Here in Spain it's called Alhambra, but you know the Arab fort in the south of Spain is called Alhambra. Anyway, we're not going to use it all, but we're going to pour in a little bit at first, maybe like a third of it, and start getting that together. And then pour in more, slowly, to get all of this work together. We don't want it to be too soupy. We want it to be like a little bit thinner than a normal pancake batter. So I haven't even put in 8 ounces yet, and we're basically already there. It's a little bit too thick, so a little bit more beer. We basically want it to look like this. Now just remember, whisk the heck out of it. We want every bit of flour to be incorporated, and we want it to be well mixed. Make sure you mix it very, very well. Mix it for like a good 2 minutes. And then it'll start leavening while we leave it to rest for half an hour in the fridge. But anyway, we want it about at this consistency, like this. Basically like a pancake batter, but maybe a little bit thinner. And now finally, all we have to do is season it. We've got ourselves a nice potpourri of peppers, 3 different kinds of peppers, red peppercorns, white peppercorns, and black peppercorns. We're going to put a very generous amount in here. And this adds a really, really nice flavor to the fish fry. And make sure to give it plenty of salt. We got some kosher salt here, some sea salt that we put in the grinder. Just get it nice and seasoned. And then we'll put this in the fridge for half an hour and let it rest before we start dipping our fish in it. This is great also for onion rings. Just take rings of onion, dip it in there and throw it in the hot oil. Very delicious. But today we're just doing fried fish. Anyway, we got ourselves the mixture well mixed. Okay, so now all we really got to do is just cover this up with a little bit of tin foil and put it in the fridge for half an hour. So, we're just going to cover it up. Make sure we get the sides covered so it doesn't dry out. And put it in the fridge. Maybe it's going to go in the fridge for half an hour. Maybe after 10 minutes I'm going to start heating the oil and getting it nice and hot and ready to fry the fish. Okay, I just went out and got some oil, so now all we have to do is heat up the pan. Turn on the stove, medium-high heat, and put some oil in here and get it nice and hot. Probably going to give it like maybe an inch or so of oil, maybe a half liter, or like 40% of a liter. Okay, so the oil is almost hot enough, but we need it really hot, like to the point where it's about to start smoking. And it's been there for basically about 12 minutes on medium-high heat. And we've also got ourselves a plate here. We're going to put a little bit of parchment paper on the plate. This way we can dry the fish out from the oil, but at the same time it'll stay nice and crispy. Now that the oil is almost hot enough, it's time to take this fish that we took out of the fridge. We're going to put a little bit of paper towel on this plate and take the fish, which is wet, and put it on the paper towel so we could dry it out. Because we don't want anything splattering. Once water or ice hits oil, especially hot oil, it makes a huge splattering and we don't want to burn ourselves. So we dry this out completely. Okay, the oil is basically really hot. It's about to start smoking. We know it's hot enough. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a piece of fish one at a time, throw it in the batter, and from the batter we're going to put it into the pan. Take the first piece, throw it in the batter, make sure to get both sides, get it completely covered in the batter, and drain off the excess batter. And when we throw it in, put it down and away from us so we don't get splattered oil on ourselves. Anyway, throw it in, one piece at a time. Move it around a little bit just to make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. And we'll basically cook this for about 4 minutes, 2 minutes on each side, and then take it out. Turn it over. And get the other side looking like that basically, and then it's done. And then we'll take that out and put the next piece in. Okay, this piece is done basically. Let's take it out and put it in a second piece of fish. Make sure to drain all the excess oil off that you can. And put that first piece down. Time for the second piece of fish. Take a nice fisharoonie-doonie like this. Put it in the batter. Get it completely covered and drain off the excess batter. We don't want to be too battery, like a pancake on top of a piece of fish. We want it to be a thin crust, but nice and crispy. Throw it in, away from you. And I'll show you when I'm ready to take this out. It's been about 1.5 minutes on this side. Turn it over. Okay, the second piece is basically done. Take it out. Drain it off well of the oil. Put it on the paper. Time for the last piece. Nice and quick. Once we're done with the fish, we'll start on the chips, meaning the French fries. Now, fish and chips, you usually use thicker cut potatoes, thicker cut chips, but we just have normal French fries here. So we'll be using that. Now we finally take out the last piece of fish. Drain it well, and throw in the fries. Throw in the chips. Take a nice handful of these thinly sliced potatoes and put them in. We stand back, try not to get burnt from the ice hitting the hot oil, and we move it around a little bit so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. Stirring occasionally. We're going to cook these until they're golden brown. Not too brown, just golden brown. Okay, so the potatoes are basically ready. They're nice, light golden brown. They're going to be crunchy on the outside and soft and delicious on the inside. Let's take them out. Drain them well on the paper towel. And I'll show you what happens when I plate all of this stuff up. Okay, so the fries are ready. All we have to do now is salt and pepper them. Put some of this cracked kosher sea salt on top. And a little bit of the potpourri of peppers. A decent amount, not too much. Okay, so we're done basically. We've got ourselves, you know, three, here we go, let's see if I can focus this in, alright? But we've got ourselves 3 pieces of fish, fried fish, beer battered fish, and some French fries. You could hear it, it's nice and crispy, and so are the fries, well seasoned, battered in beer. You can't ask for better than that. It's just gonna be freaking delicious. Now British people would probably just eat it like this, but I'd like to put a mayonnaise tartar sauce on it. That's basically mayo and pickle relish. And you know, make a sandwich with the fish. Maybe put some hot sauce on top of it too. But anyway, here we go. We've got ourselves some fish and chips. So thank you for watching my video as always, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you. Bye.